Boom. Alright, what's up you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I want to talk to you about my top 3 stock picks for the month of May 2022. Keep this one short and sweet for you guys, so let's get straight into it. In front of us is a little write-up that I made for you, which consists of the 3 stocks that we're going to be talking about today, followed by a very brief description of what the company does, along with a quick note on why I'm personally bullish on this stock. As we read over each of these one by one, we'll then hop into TradingView in the back and talk some technicals on each of the complementary charts. Alright, as we do talk technicals, I will also expand on some of the fundamentals I read here as well, because again, this is very short and to the point. But again, I will expand on what makes me bullish from a technical and fundamental perspective as we jump into the charts. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's the breakdown of the video. Before we get into it, you guys, please let me know in the comments down below what is your #1 stock pick for the month of May, and also like the video and subscribe to the channel because that is greatly appreciated. Also, before we dive into some of these 3 gems right here, I do want to read over a segment, a little piece of the newsletter that I wrote this morning for obviously the newsletter group, because I do cover growth stocks. The 3 names we're covering today: VUZI, SoFi, and Coin. I'm not keeping that a secret. You guys know those are the stocks already. But these 3 names are definitely growth stocks, and these 3 names outperformed most of the market. So I do want to read over this just to give you guys kind of my stance and my take, my macro take on growth stocks and how they're fitting into the macro environment right now, into the greater market environment, because again, these 3 are kind of the epitome of growth stocks, and this take is relevant to this video. Okay, so although the mega caps were struggling today, growth stocks absolutely crushed it. We need to give a big shout out to 2 of the largest share positions in the portfolio, Vuzix and Coinbase. VUZI closed out the day at almost almost plus 11%. You guys can see that right here. Almost plus 11%. Coin was up over 7% on the day. The dynamic we saw playing out today is exactly what we've been expecting and hoping for, and that is for capital outflow from overbought mega caps to find a home in oversold small caps. Okay, so again, big names: Apple, Amazon, SPY, the S&P 500 overall was down today. So the fact that these names, that these growth stocks that have been getting hit so hard and over aggressively hard, in my opinion, VUZI, SoFi, Coinbase, the fact that Vuzix was up almost 11% today while Apple was down is a great sign of a kind of a paradigm shift that we're seeing in the markets, and hopefully some of the capital that flows out of the multi-trillion-dollar Apple will find a new home in a $300 million Vuzix. Okay, so that's just my take right there. Feeling great about the performance of the portfolio throughout the birthday month, guys. Cheers to you if you're eating good with me, and I trust most of you are. So another preface to this is the fact that I am still, many of you guys know this if you've been watching for the past couple of weeks, I'm still loaded up with puts, and those puts have been printing lately. Did take some profits on some puts today, so hopefully you guys played those with me in the case that you're on board with those. But again, the short term is very uncertain. I am still loaded up with puts, but I am very excited, and I mean, just the balance of the portfolio is so great right now. Kind of shorting mega caps and long these growth stock small caps is making me so excited about what the future holds for us, in terms of at least the month of May, maybe moving forward past that. But again, hopefully we are seeing a paradigm shift. Hopefully a lot of this capital does find a home in some of these very great names that have gotten oversold, and as you guys know, my money is always where my mouth is. So let's talk these 3. One more thing though, you guys may have already seen this already, but your boy is about to be a father. We are going to be adding a new member to the Waves fam, and I do imagine you guys will welcome he or she. We already know. See if you guys can guess that. I imagine you guys are going to welcome them with open arms, and yeah, just appreciate it if you guys show this some love. I am doing a little render giveaway, crypto baby for the new baby, for the baby that I will love much more than render, but do love render. So we'll be giving away some render. You can just drop a comment down below, or show the Instagram post some love, and show the lady some love too, because she's the real MVP here. So shout out to Sammy. All right, that's that. You guys, just wanted to let you guys know that, a little personal, but it's the Waves fam. I imagine most of you watching have been with me for a while. So again, welcome a new member to the Waves fam. Let's finally dive into some of these names. All right, so first up we got the MVP, and a name that is also my #1 stock pick for 2022. So far, hasn't played out the greatest, but hey, no growth stocks have looked good. But Vuzix, as of right now, as once again the cycle is shifting, hopefully Vuzix is, up double digits. That's crazy. That's awesome. VUZI is an AR/VR hardware or glasses company with a market cap of only $300 million. I believe it's like 330. You can see, yeah, just under $330 million, and will benefit greatly from the overall metaverse trend. Okay, so metaverse. All you guys know, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the fact that Bored Ape Yacht Club just launched their metaverse other side. Crazy launch. The Bored Ape token got absolutely smoked. That was a textbook buy the hype, sell the news event right there. But Decentraland, Sandbox, Render token, all these plays that I like so much in crypto, that there will be carryover to the equity markets. Meta, freaking Facebook, one of the largest companies in the entire world, change their name and completely change the direction of their company moving forward to focus on the metaverse. And Vuzix, considering Vuzix has so many patents in the space, they already have a great range of products that are being used, not necessarily in kind of day-to-day activities and retail Joe activities, but doctors use them, construction workers use them, warehouse workers use these products. So there is very, very strong commercial application, which actually makes me even more bullish on it. So VUZI, so much potential in this company. And again, from both a fundamental perspective and just a hype momentum trend perspective, what are people eyeballing? What are people interested in? The metaverse is definitely that, and Vuzix, I do think, will benefit highly from that. Okay, so this line right here, we'll just explain right off the bat, because I'm sure you're wondering what that is. That is when Vuzix is slated to announce their Q2 earnings. Okay, so Vuzix next earning call is on May 10th. Keep an eye out for that. I do think that they will impress on their earnings call, and I do think from a technical perspective, Vuzix at some point will retest this previous line of support as new resistance. Good old TA 101. I just happen to make the price target on my birthday, because this would be, if we do see this, this would be the greatest birthday present of all, on top of this little one coming down the line. But sooner than later, this one will be here sooner, in the case that we do see this trend line retested, previous support, new resistance. In the case that we do see this May 19th, mid-May, the B day, that would represent a 57% price appreciation from where we are at now at just about $5.70. Okay, so that is VUZI. Let's move on to SoFi. SoFi is an American online personal finance company. In their words, Google it, that's what you find. But I see it as a company tackling banking 2.0. So the next iteration of the finance space. I liken SoFi to names like Block and names like Block. That's kind of the only example I can think about right now. But Block is a company that I definitely find parallels with SoFi in. And actually, I know a few people, just talking anecdotally, like boots on the ground, I actually know a few people who just got loans from SoFi. So that's a good sign in my book. People are using SoFi, people are getting loans. Everyone's running out of money. People are going to need some money, and SoFi provides that solution for them. Okay, so SoFi has gotten unnecessarily beaten down. You can see here, let's take a look. Actually, I don't have a price range here on the correction. I actually will elaborate a little bit on what you can see here. Okay, so after we cover, we'll just do that. In my opinion, Vuzix and SoFi are prime targets for acquisition after their 80% plus pullbacks. Okay, so SoFi, actually, I know VUZI was 80%. Let's go back to VUZI real quick, so we're hopping back and forth. But Vuzix from top to bottom, April 9th of 2021, just over a year ago. Vuzix saw its all-time high at almost $33, which is crazy. And then a low, just a low over here earlier this year at $4.60, representing over an 85% correction from, once again, all-time high to the recent low we saw. So Vuzix saw an 85% correction. SoFi has not seen, actually, I guess from, it's all-time high. Say back here, that's a single wick, so I don't put much weight on that. But SoFi has seen close to an 80% correction, so we'll call it an 80% correction from all-time highs. These both, along with the entirety of the growth stock market, small cap growth stocks, hyper growth stocks, I should say more specifically, hyper growth stocks have gotten absolutely punished, and unrightfully so. There's been so many liquidations, so many unfortunate retail investors just getting cleaned and washed out of the market. And again, that's the unfortunate reality of kind of the macroeconomic environment that was created by the Fed. Just so much liquidity so fast. And again, there's no free lunches, guys. That's why the markets are very, very shaky. The underlying reality of the markets and just economy in general is not in a good place. But growth stocks have fallen what I would say is a very, very unfair way down. I mean, these things, if these things haven't bottomed yet, I don't know when they will. And I don't know how much further they can fall. But once again, the fact that plays like Apple were down today and growth stocks were up so significantly, it's a great sign that hopefully that capital is rebalancing itself. Okay, so SoFi, again, banking 2.0, tackling the next version of the financial systems. Definitely a company of the future. And I have checked out the product. It's a good UI, it's a good user interface, solid product. And again, the stock has just gotten beaten down beyond a reason. And we're currently sitting at just over a $5.75 billion market cap. SoFi did IPO. I mean, I guess they IPO kind of with a lot of other SPACs around $10, but it reached a high of almost $30. So the fact that now we're in single digits, like low single digits, that $6.33 is crazy. SoFi, when you look at their annual revenue, last year they did over $1 billion in revenue. So although they aren't profitable, they're a young company. I mean, it's very, very rare for a young company in a revolutionary space to be profitable. But the fact that they're generating, I mean, in 2021, the fact that they generated $1 billion in revenue is insane. And $1 billion in annual revenue at a valuation of $5.76 billion is pretty crazy. So they're just trading at 5x. They're trading at only 5x revenue, which, again, for a company in this space, for such a revolutionary company, is a very, very low multiple. All right, so that's SoFi. Again, I do think Vuzix and SoFi are prime targets for acquisition. Now they've been beaten down. Say Block, like a name like Block, that might get blocked by by the SEC. But say a name like Block, say a big player in the financial space. Say, say Schwab or something wants to pick up SoFi. I mean, $5 billion to a lot of these mega caps, to a lot of these just S&P 500 companies, NASDAQ 100 companies is, I mean, a drop in the bucket. That's nothing. So $5 billion for a great company like SoFi generating $1 billion in annual revenue. I don't want to say very likely, but the potential is definitely there. And Vuzix, I mean, $330 million market cap. That is literally not noticeable for a company, say like Meta, okay? Meta or Apple, one of these massive companies, the FANG companies, getting into AR, VR. Vuzix, once again, holds a crazy amount of patents in the space and could be a very, very promising pickup for one of these. And again, not make a dent at all in their bottom line or in their balance sheet, okay? So SoFi, I do think that SoFi can at least get back to kind of around where it IPO'd, in an area that has acted as a floor and ceiling for SoFi in the past, and is also very, very significant psychological even. That is $10. On that note, SoFi is, well, what we're talking about, a little resistance on the way up. I do think SoFi, at the very, very least, can bounce to test this yellow trend line right here. Line of resistance, a very obvious trend line in play. This yellow line right here, boom, 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 multiple touch points, 4 touch points. I can see maybe 5. I do think that SoFi over the coming days, maybe this week, can see a bounce up to about $7. $7.32, which, is a cool 20+% of upside. Okay, so again, maybe we get rejected there, but I do think SoFi deserves to be at least floating around $10 per share. Okay, double digits. So that's SoFi. Let's close it out with Coinbase and read quickly. So last but not least, Coinbase. You all know what Coinbase is. Okay, so I'm not even gonna explain Coinbase. They also have, on top of these, the NFT marketplace. I just throw that out there right now. Coin is as oversold as it gets, and the fact that it's trading at a single-digit PE ratio, which is price to earnings ratio, is ridiculous. Easy buy in my eyes. Okay, so Coinbase, let's take a look at this again. Coinbase down. I guess we could go to its all-time high. So Coinbase from its all-time high, again, these are single wicks, so I don't like counting these, but technically from its all-time high, Coinbase is down, has down pretty much 75% from its all-time high, which is bonkers for a company that is now worth $26 billion, but was once worth significantly more. Okay, and a lot of you guys may remember this. I've said this multiple times in the past. I think Coinbase one day will be worth $1 trillion. Maybe it takes another decade, maybe it takes 2 decades, I don't know, but I do think Coinbase at some point down the line it will have $1 trillion market cap. So depending on your time horizons, obviously now, even up here, if you think it's going to be $1 trillion like I do someday, if you have a very long time horizon, which I personally don't, anywhere along this line would have been a good buy. But at these levels, Coinbase at a $26 billion valuation, trading at a PE, price to earnings ratio, of 7.6. that's a PE ratio that's less than like a legacy railroad company, right? Like the most legacy boring company in the Dow Jones is trading at more than a 7.6 PE ratio, and Coinbase is one of the most revolutionary, game-changing companies, I mean, of the future of our generation, I would argue. Okay, so anyway, Coinbase, I mean, I've talked about Coinbase so many times, I won't reiterate my fundamental arguments, but Coinbase from a technical perspective, I mean, is due for a bounce at the very least. Short term, like over the coming days, I do think that Coinbase can come up here to retest previous support as new resistance on its like downtrend ascending channel formation. That would take us up to about, where is that? Like over the coming days, that would take us up to about a $1.38, $1.40. I do think then this orange line will come into play right here. That is just previous resistance broken above. Will probably come into play as new resistance again. So these are just the areas I'm keeping an eye on, just the levels and ranges I'm personally keeping an eye on. But I do think that by month's end, Coinbase can come here. Can make its way up to test overall medium-term resistance on the overall downtrend. Touch point here at the end of 2021. Next touch point here at the end of March. From these levels, if we test this, let's do May 19th one more time. If we can test this trend line May 19th, that would be a 36% gain from current levels. And you know what? That's a pretty good trade, especially if you have the proper options in place, which I'm feeling pretty damn confident about the calls that I have at the moment. So if you guys want to know exactly how I'm trading these three names personally, what I'm buying, when I'm selling, when I'm taking profits, how I'm altering these positions on a daily basis, along with literally every single position in my entire portfolio. You want to know when I'm buying a render. You want to know when I'm buying just choked on my spit. When I'm buying other metaverse names. Sorry about that, guys. But exactly how I'm trading on a daily basis. Again, it's a complete breakdown of my entire personal portfolio, which I update every single trading day during market hours. And with each update, I send out this bad boy talking about why I made the trades I made, along with whatever I feel like is important. Today we talked about the Fed, talking about what that means for the macro. And yeah, you guys, that's only $15 a month or $40 for every 3 months. Completely up to you. I think it's worth it. I think it's more than worth it, but you be the judge of that. And it is greatly appreciated if you check it out. And I do truly believe you will be doing yourself a service. So that link is the first link down in the description box below. I will also throw the IG in there. Again, go show the post, go show Sammy some love. And yeah, excited to introduce a new member to the Waves fam. So talk to you guys downstairs in the comments. Once again, let me know what your stock pick, what your number one is. You can do 3 if you want, but what your number 1 stock pick going into May is over the course of this month. Very curious to see what you guys have to say there. And yeah, catch you guys downstairs in the comments below. Until next time, you guys, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.